Blue Eyes was fun, but ultimately it ended in failure. This time around, I want to win. So on a budget of only $25 per week, we're going to build a competitive PK deck that can not only beat content creators, but also top locals and take on regionals when they return. Join me on this journey to become the next king of games. This is sealed only Yu-Gi-Oh! Road to Kingship. Alright, so this is the monstrosity I brewed up for week 1. It won't be too different from what the out of the box deck looks like, but there's a few changes. So let's start with the main monsters, shall we? 2 Silent Boots, best PK in the deck. You banish him to get the Phantom Knight trapped to your, or Speller trapped to your hand, and he can be special summoned for free if you control PK. Then we got double Ragged Gloves, so when you banish him, he sends to the graveyard a PK, anything PK related, and then he increases the attack of any Xyz monster used with him. After that we got double Ancient Cloak, banish it, search something in the archetype, pretty good. Double Cloven Helm, this is one of the level 4 PKs, they're not that great, but for the time being we need them. So when this one is banished, it's basically a Skarn World search something in the end phase. So it's alright. Fragile Armor, that's a free special summon if one of your Phantom Knights is destroyed. And now we're done with the PKs, let's get into our other tech, Double Meliscus. So what's nice about this is you get an ultra rare Meliscus, only one though, which is kind of sad. But it'll be a really good dark extender for the time being. It'll help us make Bardiche, which is really good. It's just a free special summon when you Foolish Burial 1. And speaking of Foolish Burials, here's our one of Armageddon Knight, send anything to the graveyard, pretty good. Blue Mountain Butterspry, Kagemucha Knight, they're both, when you normal summon a monster, you can special summon them from your hand. They're both pretty good. Kagemucha Knight's essentially a PK, because it's also level 3. Junk Forward, this card's alright, so it's a free special summon if you control no monsters. The only issue is that it's an Earth and not a Dark. If it was Earth, it'd be so much better, but you can make a rank 3 with it. Then for our last monster, a single Effect Veiler. That's what they gave us for hand traps. You know what? Effect Veilers are good. I'll take it. We'll get more when we open the rest of the boxes. As for the traps, so we got 2 Shadow Veil, gives something 300 attack and can be special summoned as a level 4. 2 Swords, gives something 800 attack. It protects it from being destroyed, and you can banish it to special PK from your graveyard. Wings, very similar to Sword, banish it to special summon PK from the graveyard. Double Wrong Magneteering. This is essentially a threatening roar where it stops the battle, and then you can special summon it as a level 2. That's how you make your level 2 PK, or your rank 2 PK. And then we got Tomb Shield. It's just a bad Shade Brigandine because you can't do it right away. Then we got Lost Vambrace. It's bad. I can't really quantify how bad this card is. It negates a card's effects if you target it, if you have a specific PK or something like that. I don't know, it's not great. Dark Gauntlets actually isn't terrible. You can special summon it from the graveyard, and it also sends a PK from deck to graveyard when you activate it, so it's not bad. Shade Brigandine, very good extender. If you have no PK spell or trap cards in your graveyard, you can use it the turn that you set it, and you can special summon it as a level 4 right away. Fogblade, you only get 1, and for some reason not in foil. You'd think they'd put it in foil, but I guess not. Anyway, very good, negates the effects and prevents monster from attacking that is targeted to, and then you can also banish it to special summon a PK from your graveyard. Very good. Knight of Mistclaws, it adds a banished PK back to your hand, pretty good. Phantom Knight Spear, when your opponent activates a card that targets a PK, you can burn them, alright. Double Rank Up Magic Launch, you can rank up a Xyz monster that has no materials on it, very powerful. Rhoda, searches you a warrior, they're all warriors. Monster Reborn, everyone knows what that does. Forbidden Chalice, it's essentially another Effect Veiler but a spell, and it gives something 400 attack. Foolish Burial, get anything you want in the graveyard. Twin Twisters, you get the ones in Ultra, that's pretty nice. I appreciate that a lot. That's foil printing. You all know what that does. And finally, Dark Eruption, get something back to your hand. It basically gets the whole archetype back to your hand. I think already the main deck is far more competent than Blue Eyes is. The only issue I see is there's a lot of traps in here. A lot and not a lot of monsters. So I foresee us bricking a lot. Anyway, onto the tiny sideboard. It's very small. 1 Hey Trunade, it's a bad giant Trunade. 1 MST. We all know what this does. Forbidden Dress. So target monster loses 600 attack and it cannot be targeted or destroyed. might be good. Lose Forbidden Lance loses 800 attack and is unaffected by effects. It's alright. And then you got Double Dark Hole, one of them in Ultra, which, love me an Ultra reprinting. It's removal, it's a board wipe. Maybe we'll play it if we're playing against something that's worth it. Oh yeah, also, I should show you guys. We got Dimir Tundra sleeves, look at that. Look at that. If y'all know my buddy Demo, he's sponsored by Your Playmat, so I used his code to get some pretty awesome custom sleeves for myself. And I'd say I'm very happy with them. They feel real good. They feel like dragon shields, which is very good for me. Because it's hard to find Yu-Gi-Oh! Good size sleeves in Yu-Gi-Oh! Size. Anyway, let's get to the extra deck. So you got the one Rusty, incredible card. If you summon a Dark Exceeds to a spot at points, you can pop a card. You can send you can send a PK from your deck to the graveyard to set a PK spell trap. Just phenomenal, phenomenal card. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, everyone knows it, everyone loves it. It's an Arc V card. Detach 2 to gain half the attack of a monster. That monster loses half the attack, very powerful. And the rank up magic target, Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. Essentially the same effect, but it's also got a negate on it. Break Sword, glad this is a holo by the way. You can detach to pop one card you own and one card your opponent controls. And then if this card is destroyed, you can target 2 PKs in your graveyard, bring them back as a level higher. So this is your main way of getting out your Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Evil Storm Nightmare, not a bad card. Whenever your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step of course, you can detach one material from this card, change that to face down defense position. So quick effect, Book Moon on a monster, not terrible, but it's only got 950 attack. Then Evil Swarm Thanatos is also not a bad option. You can detach material from this card, and then this card is unaffected by other monster effects for this turn. And on 2350 body, that's not terrible. One Dante, you all know what Dante does, but he's actually kind of bad in this deck because he's a light. If he was a dark, he'd be so much better, but whatever. Laviera brings something back from the bench. This will be a lot better once we have access to Utopic Future Draco, which shall be far in the future. Cursed Javelin, you almost never make it. Because, well, you see, the issue is it's a rank 2. The only way to get rank 2 PKs is through the use of Wrong Magneteering. And yeah, it's not even worth it. And we just threw in a couple things to fill out the extra deck for 15 cards. So I threw in a Scrap Dragon, Coral Dragon, Ascension Sky Dragon, and then 2 Masked Heroes. I was originally thinking about putting in a small hero engine to try and turbo out Dark Law, but it ended up just being too bricky because they only give you 1 Shadow Mist, and the only really way you don't get any Vions either. And yeah, it wouldn't have worked out well. I kind of wish they gave you Mask Change 2. That would be very busted, because then you could actually just like target any dark monster you have and turn into a Dark Law. But whatever. That's what the deck's looking like this week. Let's take it to locals and see what happens. Now before we get to locals, how about y'all do me a favor and hit that beautiful, beautiful subscribe button. We are 16 away from 200 subs, and it would make my day if we could hit that magical number. Also, hit that like button as well, and leave a comment down below for some interaction. Let me know how you feel about this inaugural episode of Season 2. And let me know what you think I can improve too, because I do really want to improve the quality of this. Finally, why not check out some of my other stuff like the Magic Progression series? I'm sure you'll like it a lot. Anyways, let's go top locals. We start our day the right way, going second against Tri Brigade. Also, I hope y'all like the sick braided sleeves. I think they're pretty slick. So our opponent goes full combo and they end on a Samorg, double Dragon Lords, Almirage, and a barrier statue. We start our turn by normal summoning Armageddon Knight. The effect is good, so we dump a Silent Boots. We move to battle and attempt to smack the barrier statue with our Armor Knight. Unfortunately, he discards a Nerval, so we can activate double Dragon Lords and bounce our monster back to our hand. We banish our Silent Boots to get a Fog Blade. We set 2 and end our turn. After a sneaky little camera movement, our opponent links into a 4 material Appaloosa. He then does some Leerlusk stuff, getting a Fractal to his hand. He attempts to use Fractal's effects, and we Fogblade it. He then makes a Ferrigite, and after another sneaky camera movement, he makes a Shrag. He moves to the battle phase and swings for game. We start game 2 off right by setting 3 and passing. I'm getting some Blue Eyes flashbacks, boys. Our opponent does some Tri-Brigade combos. He banishes 2 of our back row along the way. He swings at us for a lot of damage and passes to us. In the end phase, we Dark Gauntlet to send a Phantom Knight swing to our graveyard. On our turn, we Rhoda for an Armageddon Knight. We summon it and use its effect to send a Cloven Hawk. We attack the barrier statue with Armor Knight, which is met with the Link Reba. His turn, he has enough damage just to smack us for game. Hooray, starting it off the right way by losing. Match 2, and we go first against Zombie World Eldritch. We start with the classic set 2 past. Woo, we're the best Yugis. He uses a conk on his turn to pop one of our back row. He then special summons out an Eldritch by popping his back row. He normal summons a Unizombie and dumps a Necrolled Banshee to his graveyard. He uses Unizombie's second effect to discard a Gub. He then banishes the Banshee and the Bloom from his graveyard to summon a Ballardrock and activate Zombie World. He moves to battle and swings for game. And for those wondering, this took 2 IRL minutes. Shortest game I've ever played. For game 2, we have to go first again. Maybe we can redeem ourselves this time. Our opening hand was kind of cracked, so we start by normaling an Ancient Cloak and specialing a Kage Muchinite. Then we special summon a Silent Boots from our hand as well. We link into Bardiche and use its effect to bin a Ragged Gloves and set a Fog Blade. We banish our Silent Boots to add Wrong Magneteering to hand. Probably the first time you ever heard someone say that. We set 2 more cards and pass off. Opponent starts by activating Zombie World. It's not on screen, but it's there. They normal summon a Gub, and they link it off for a Link Crevo. They use the effect to special summon Ballardrock. He goes to battle and hits us for a ton of damage. Game 2, he links off into a Vampire Sucker. He uses the effect of Vampire Sucker to special back our Kage Muchinite so that he can draw a card and passes off to us. In my standby phase, the Ballardrock comes back, and he summons it in Sucker's Zone. This triggers Sucker's effect, which allows him to trigger Baylor's. However, we have a Forbidden Chalice. We banish the Fog Blade to special summon back our Cloak. Then we overlay into a Breaksword. We summon it in the Bardiche's zone and pop the Ballardrock. Then we activate Breaksword to pop itself in the Sucker. Uses Breaksword's second effect to bring back 2 PKs as level 1 higher. That doesn't make sense. They're 1 level higher. There we go. We then exceed them into Dark Rebellion. We move to battle and hit our opponent for a lot. And we pass our turn. His turn, he brings back Ballardroach in his standby. He summons a Gozuki and uses an effect to dump a card. And he chains Ballardrock to banish our Bardiche. He then pops our back row using the Eldritch effect and summons the Eldritch by popping his Zombie World. See? I told you it was there. He moves to the battle phase and swings for a lot. His main phase 2, he swings into an Avenged Savior and he uses Mizuki effect to summon a Banshee. Our turn, he banishes the Banshee to set a Zombie World. This lets Ballardrock come back. We attempt to activate our Armageddon Knight, but he negates it with Ballardroach. Then we banish our Ancient Cloak to add a Shade Brigandine to our hand. But we were stupid and forgot that there was a PK trap in our graveyard, so we can't activate it. Set 2 and pass. On his turn, he has lethal and he swings for game. We actually got the bye for round 3, so you know what that means? Free win! Woo! Our actual game 3 though is going to be against Bee Trooper and Zector. He goes first and he bricks real bad, which is good for us, boys. He Foolish Burial Goods, sending a Metal Flow Fusion to draw a card, and we move the camera so that the lucky Rengoku he has can be in frame. He normal summons a Bee Trooper, I don't know their names, lol, and then he special summons another insect monster. He sets 1 and passes. Poor boy. Our turn is a tad better. We normal our Ancient Cloak and special boots. We overlay for a Breaksword and we pop itself in the opponent's back row. They chain their trap card to banish the boots from our graveyard. This stops Breaksword's effect from special summoning. We banish our Ancient Cloak to add a boots to hand, and our opponent figures out that we're playing sealed only. Scale? Wish I had that. I'm playing fresh out of the box.
Oh.
From my sound boots.
Oh, so you're playing field only stuff?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. We set 2 on a pass our turn. On his turn, he normal summons Ladybug and he links into Seraphim Papillon. He moves to battle and swings at us for 2,700, and he passes. We start our turn with Rhoda adding a Cloven Helm. This triggers his Seraphim and he special summons his Bee Trooper from grave. We normal summon our Cloven Helm and we chain Butter Spy to special summon it. Then we special summon our boots. We link off into a Bardiche and we use its effect to dump PK and set a trap. He chains the effect of Scale Bomber to tribute itself to pop our Bardiche. We bin the gloves and set a Shade Brigandine. We then special Shade Brigandine. We banish our Ragged Gloves to dump wings, and we dump the wings to summon Cloven Helm. We're able to overlay for Dark Rebellion. We then activate its effect to detach 2 and lower his monster's attack. We move to battle and smack into his Butterfly. On our main 2, we banish Silent Boots to add rank up magic. We rank up magic to go into Dark Requiem. Oh boy, I like where this is going. We pass off and our opponent can only set 1 and pass. We start by Foolish Burialing, sending a Ragged Gloves. We use Ragged Gloves to send Sword. We banish Sword to summon Bardiche. We move to battle, swing into his face down, and hit him for 3k. And he scoops in the face of our mighty knights. Game 2 and 3, he manages to pull off full combo and kill us. So instead of commentary, enjoy this cute little edit I made. Well, we didn't top, but we won a game, so that's pretty good. This is about what I expected. My locals, well, it wasn't showcased in this video. It was pretty meta heavy, and even against the non-meta decks, I knew that I would have trouble with just an out-of-the-box deck. It's just how powerful Yu-Gi-Oh! Is right now. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy. We got to show off a lot of plays. We got to really see what this deck is meant to do. Next week, we're going to supplement our deck by opening most of a box of Phantom Rage, and I'm excited for that because it's got a ton of commons that we need, such as the Torn Scales, Xyz Imports, Jajas, as well as some other random miscellaneous stuff. And maybe we'll get lucky and pull Torn Scales. Who knows? But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I hope that Season 2 can go off into Yu-Gi-Oh! History as one of the best sealed-only series out there. Thank you all for watching.